yo, what's up? It's Champenstein here. What's comic
Heather
book? Oh,
Hadfield.
yeah. Heather's here, I promise.
I am here.
It's the comic book Bone Zone. It's number 17. Yeah, there we go.
Doing it with the hands. I forgot how many it took, though.
Been on a hiatus, and I would say that's due to honestly, lack of comic books to talk about anyway.
Yeah, because this last 2 weeks is 1 week for us normally. So
yeah, and there's 17 books maybe.
I have 9.
Well, whatever.
About that, yeah.
Who knows? So welcome back. Welcome. We're going to talk about comic books.
It's Pride Month.
It's Pride Month. Oh yeah, happy Pride Month to all I didn't forget.
Wearing a pride hat.
Yeah, if you are watching, or if you're not watching and you're listening, I have a really gay bucket hat on my head. It's got a rainbow on it. So happy Pride Month.
Yes.
To me and Heather and the other gay people that I know. And
All
if you're gay, yeah, and if you're gay out there, thanks for listening. Thanks for being alive. You're the only people I care about. Okay, Heather, talk about comic books.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
They're gonna say we're woke in this joint or something.
We're way too woke. Ron DeSantis hates us.
He knows me personally.
All right, I have San Julian's Queens of the Lost World. So I'm gonna talk about this one real quick. So I thought it was Queen of the Lost Underworld, just one. Queen, singular. So when I was reading it, I was like, why are there so many queens in here?
Like queens?
Yeah, multiple. There's multiple queens in here. And so it was very confusing for me while I was reading it because they all kind of look like similar. And I just kept thinking, oh, that's that same queen. That makes sense. But they all go by different names. So that was confusing for me. I did not realize it was
there's an S, yeah, that's
plural.
Queens, yeah.
It took me until after I finished it before I was like, now why was that so confusing? But it's literally just about a group of queens. There's I believe three of them that are all working together to defeat a big bad queen. So four queens. One of them's a dragon queen, and she's cool as hell.
Is she a dragon?
No, but her mom is.
That's cool.
Her mom is just a fucking huge dragon. Let me see if I can find her. That's her mom.
Pretty cool.
It's kind of hard to see but from the way that it's set up, but this is the queen, and this is her mom, who is ill, who's dying from something. And so the queen enlists the help of another queen to help find the cure or whatever is wrong with her and stuff. There's another queen that ends up going to the underworld, and she interrupts a little bang session between a skeleton demon ghost thing and a queen. So there's that.
All right.
There's a lot of queens, and it's it's very similar to a Frank Frazetta story in that it's very kind of horny, but in a really high fantasy kind of way.
Yes, good.
We'll see. I was kind of curious about the story because for the most part I've liked all the Opus books that I've gotten. And so I've never heard of San Julian before, but I know the art, but not the story behind the art and stuff. It's just literally just Frank Frazetta, but someone else. So
yeah.
It's nice. It's fun. I do enjoy it. That's all.
Okay. Okay, so then I guess I'm next. I have a few books. And I got a bunch of trades because I'm off of school for summer, so I've just been reading a bunch of books, trades. So first I have PTSD Radio,
Yep.
PTSD Radio, Volume 1. This is a book is getting a bunch of hype. People are talking about it right now for some reason.
I think that I didn't even notice that it was like right now because it came out like several months ago.
Yeah, at least like this first volume did. Like I guess this is like collected into
Mhm.
like this is like omnibus form, so this is 1 and 2. But
Oh, okay.
I should have looked up when this like was originally coming out and like when this translation and stuff came to be. But yeah, I mean, it's just been getting a lot of hype. There's 3 volumes. The 3rd volume just came out at the beginning of May, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I picked it up because yeah, it was just people were talking about it, and so I was curious, especially as somebody who like loves like horror stuff. And I can't remember if Heather already talked about this. I know that she also picked up this book as well. Um, but I really, really liked it. Like my thing I liked and the thing that is also my complaint is like the shortness of the stories. I think each story is like between 2 and like what 10, I think 10 to 15 pages might be the longest one.
Yeah.
And so that like it just makes the book go really, really fast.
Yeah, and you did kind of want it to last a little bit longer for like how thick it is.
Yeah, so it was one of those things where I just ended up just like blowing through it and being like, well, god damn it. Thankfully, I guess I was able to order the 2nd and 3rd volumes, but that's like it. That's the end of the story. The creator like has stopped working on this because like weird stuff started happening to him. So
You know, it happens. It's like a who is it? Grant Morrison getting into fucking chaos magic.
yeah. Yeah, this the like creator of this story, like weird stuff was happening around the offices they had for the manga, and then he also, I'm pretty sure it was him. I read the article really fast in like a week and a half ago, but like he got this disease where he started like bleeding internally and externally like randomly, and like some other like weird disease, so he just like stopped working on it.
Gross. I can't imagine bleeding internally and then like knowing that it's just like a curse for working on that book.
Yeah, so if I'm wrong and I'm just like repeating some weird you know, pop culture nonsense I found online, somebody tell me, but that's just one article I found because somebody on TikTok was like, hey, you should read what happened to this creator, and I was like, sure, dude, whatever.
I'm looking this up real quick because I
Okay,
need you talk about the next
I'll
one.
I'll talk about my next book because I have another trade here. This is 20th Century Men. This is a story that started a few months back. It's only 6 issues. This is a story about a lot of things. I would say it's a lot about war. Um, it was really, 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 really good. I super, super enjoyed it. I would highly, highly suggest it. I would say take your time with it because it is really dense and it like says a lot in a like not, I wouldn't say like a confusing way, but it says a lot in a way that's like you have to kind of like read behind some subtext, but not really. It's kind of straightforward about like what it's talking about. But the ending was really, really beautiful. Uh, the art was gorgeous. Just trying to find like a good page. There, all pages of this have been pretty interesting, but just show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just a war story or a war story that is also anti-war. Yeah, really, really good. Would highly suggest it.
Do you real quick before you talk about your next book, do you remember like the beginning of the pandemic when comic books shut down and we were only reading trades that we already owned?
Mhm.
I think about that a lot. I want to do that again.
Yeah, I mean that's like part of what I try to do during the summer is like I've been going and grabbing stuff off my shelf to just like read so I can like read stuff. But then at the same time, like I'm like, oh, I want to read some Superman books. So then I've, you know, gone
Hmm.
off to the side. I mean, I just bought 20th Century Men this week because it, or a couple weeks ago because it had just come out. So, but yeah,
Hmm.
it's nice to do that.
I need to do that again. Okay. Anyway, that was all I just wanted to say. I was just reminded of that.
Okay, and then did you find anything out about what I just told you?
Um, Yes and no. I didn't want to like read too into it while we're like recording right
Yeah.
now, but I did just find it says, where is it? It gets creepier with each volume, and Nakayama even quit to keep his sanity intact, according to several sources. So I will read more into it, but that does talk about like why he quit. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, the back of this book says science fiction, superheroes, war, and military. I would say that covers it.
I love when the genres are very like descript like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it does like that. It does encompass like all of the things about that book. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then next I have Catfight. This is issue number 1. This is just a story about cat burglars who've kind of formed like, I guess, teams. And one of the cat burglars in the story kind of he works on his own, but his grandmother is like this world-renowned cat burglar, and stuff ends up happening. I don't know, it was a good book. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if I have time
Mm-hmm.
to read it right now, but the art was really good.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Just
Dang,
like,
that dress is nice. I like that
yeah,
dress.
yeah. Um, but yeah, just kind of cat burglar against cat burglar, people getting pitted against one another. I don't know. I'll probably read like the second one off the wall. I don't know. Oh, okay.
Sorry, I am listening. You said cat burglar and Bellamy just came down the stairs like a fucking creep.
All right, so then are you ready? Are
Yes.
you good? Okay.
Yes.
Next we have okay. Next we have Blue Book. This is issue number 3.
Uh-huh.
4. This
Four.
is 4.
This issue goes into, I mean, if you don't remember us talking about it before, it's just about the abduction of Betty and Barney Hill.
Mm-hmm.
This particular issue goes into Betty speaking with her therapist, psychiatrist, person, hypnotist, I guess, if you will, whoever it is she's talking to, and how she remembers everything that had happened.
Therapist.
Yeah, yeah.
Air quotes, therapist.
Yeah, if you can't see the hands, that's what we're doing. um, but yeah, Betty remembers everything that happened during the period of time that Barney doesn't. And so she's talking about what she remembers from their experience. And then the second story in back, you know, I love these backstories so much, is about spontaneous human combustion. It's about Mary Reeser, who in 1957, I believe it is, was discovered deceased in her home. The only part that was left of her is her leg, which I have a lot of theories about it, but I'm not going to get into it now because it'll take up way too much time. But very interesting story about spontaneous human combustion.
Yeah, you did. That was a summary. Um, I really like the art in this book quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I enjoyed the depth as to like what they go to like tell the story. But also now I'm just like, I want somebody else. I want to hear somebody else's.
About the aliens.
Yeah, it's just like give me a
Yeah.
different alien abduction story. Because like I think the back matter, like the backstories, I like the most because they are like, you know, those little snippets of like stories are fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree because I mean, if you read into like Project Blue Book and stuff, it's like more than just Betty and Barney Hill, and like
Oh yeah.
we get it, you know, like we. I
I
mean, if
assume
you, I don't
I
know.
assume this story arc will be the end of that and then pick up another story at the next
Oh, okay,
story arc. I
which
mean,
would make sense. For some
yeah.
reason, I just didn't realize it was going to be like an ongoing thing. I also did not read into it at all. I just saw it was Tynan on Blue Book, and so I was like, okay, cool. Like I'll read this. So yeah, that would make sense if each story arc was like something different, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
how stories go.
Because yeah, I also had thought it was just going to be one issue was a different one,
Mm-hmm.
but in the end, yes, it would. I guess it would make sense to make it a story arc. I guess we'll see. We're in for the ride. I guess.
Yeah, we got a lot. We got a lot to cover. There's a lot of stuff.
All right, are you ready for next?
Yes.
This is World Tour.
I straight up, when I was doing the FOC counts yesterday, World Tree like number 3, I think, was on it, and I had a hell of a time trying to like find it because I like couldn't remember how to spell it. I was like, what letters are what are numbers? Like, it was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I think I've gotten better at it now, but it is a little frustrating.
Yeah.
And why not make if you're gonna do this, why not make the L a 1?
You know what? That is a good point. You might as well.
Yeah,
So many things I don't like.
that's a minor complaint on my part, but anyway, World Tree. It's a, a book about the internet having a bad undernet.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're just having a bad time. It's just
And
about the dangers of the internet.
it's the internet being bad, not naughty internet.
So,
And
do
it
you think the
got
woman in this is like the personification of the internet?
the
She's just,
fear,
the yeah,
the naked
the naked
lady.
woman who looks like
Yeah,
she's the word.
there's no like that's the thing is like she has to be part of the Matrix.
Hmm. I mean, that would like make sense, and that's why they like can't catch her. They
Yeah,
can't
it's why
like,
she's naked.
yeah, because you can't have clothes when you go from one world to the next.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's my theory.
Yeah,
Or she maybe used to be a human and is somehow not.
she just like is filled with Ethernet cords instead of organs. It's just
That's good. Her heart's like some sort of modem.
the motherboard.
um, so yeah, that's Real Tree. I don't know, like it's I don't it is one of my like least favorite of his so far. And I know like we're only a couple issues in, so I'm willing to give it the time it probably deserves. I
Hmm.
like the art a lot. Like I like the group coming together. Um, I
I
like
like the
the
pages
FBI.
when they're like introduced to like the undernet, like what it
Mhm.
does to them. I think that is really cool.
I like the cute little FBI team with the pervert man and the lady with an eye patch.
Yeah, I love her. Yeah, they were really great. I like them a lot.
Um, yeah, it's like we'll see what happens.
It's is it a limited series?
I don't know.
All right, guys, you know how this goes. We're gonna look it up, and we'll let you know.
That'll never happen.
All right, I'm gonna talk about my next book.
Mhm.
Okay, this is. I'm just now noticing that every single one of my books now is like $4.99, and that's some bullshit right there.
Yeah, no, comics have gone up.
Make comics $3.99 again. Stop playing with us.
Make them $2.99 again when I first got into
Yeah.
comics.
I don't even want to
Ma-
discuss
Make
comics.
them 1 cent again. What is this bullshit?
I remember back in my day, they were nickel. Okay, this is The Neighbors. This is issue number 3. I still have not a lot of feelings on this book, and also a lot of feelings at the same time. Um, I will say I love the art and this a whole lot. And the story, while interesting, is just kind of boring, I guess. And I guess that's just being nice. So anyway, it just is about this family that moves into this new house because the dad has a lot of like agoraphobia, essentially. So this issue is the wife kind of having to deal with the downside of that, and which is literally taking care of everything for him because he just can't do anything because he's too scared. So she's getting stressed out. The older daughter was like replaced with like a weird robot version of her. I don't know. And then the youngest daughter just keeps getting like fucked with the entire time. So it's like weird in this issue. The town kind of comes together, but not in a good way, not in like a community like friendly way. They come together in like a weird, creepy
like
horror
cult way. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we'll see. I think it is only 5 issues, which is fine with me because I am curious to see like what's happening exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, some sort of like small town cult that is doing this shit to the family, and I want to know. But again, it's just kind of boring. Like I have no like connection to any of the characters. I don't care about any of them. And when
Yeah.
one of them complained, I just dropped it. One of them like complains about anything going wrong, I get annoyed by it because I'm just like, that's like the least of your problems. But they don't know that. I do because I'm reading about it.
Yeah, so you're the one in for it.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's the neighbors.
All right, I guess it's my turn now. First I have Deep Cuts. This is issue number 2. This is by Kyle Higgins, Joe Clark, Helena Macelis does the art, Ignore Monty does the colors, and then Hassan Atsamane Allahu does the letters. This issue is all about goodness, what is this character's name? Well, they say her name like a billion times, so you think that I would remember.
Yeah.
But she is trying to basically, she's like a songwriter and she's trying to write a jazz song. She goes back home to Chicago for a wedding, ends up like hooking up with a bunch of, not hooking up like sexually, but hooking up like meeting up and like hanging out with a bunch of like jazz musicians, trying to like get the sound of jazz and like figure that out. The art in this book is so fucking good. It's like real light, and I don't know. It's a gorgeous book.
Is it a different team from the first issue?
Yeah, at least the artist is different. I'm pretty sure it's the same colorist, but like the gold of her hair is just like insane.
It's really pretty.
Yeah, just looks really good. I really liked the story. Kind of had a little bit of a like a bummer of an ending, but it was still really enjoyable. And like I said before, the best part is the little like sheet music in the back for it. I would definitely like suggest this to people who like music, especially jazz music. I think it's really worth the read. Super worth the read. Then I have Sandman Universe. This is Dead Boy Detectives. This is issue number 1. This is the end of this little, I don't know, story arc, or I don't know.
Wait, what issue number is it?
6.
Okay.
But this introduces or talks about Thessaly, who's a character who's going to be having like a one-shot here within the next like few months. And the kids kind of figure out like what's been going on, and basically like this character Thessaly like has her fingers like in all of it, kind of is like fucking with shit right now. So it was a nice little ending. It was a good book. I enjoyed it. Not like my favorite, I think, out of all of those like Sandman books I've been reading recently, but still enjoyable.
Okay.
Whew, okay. And then lastly, for my books by myself, I have Punisher. This is issue number 12. This is the end of this for right now, of Jason Aaron's Punisher stuff. It was a book I read.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, it was fine. The art, I would say, out of all of the things in this book, I think it was a crime to have such great artists do this book, because it was like such an interesting idea with the flashbacks, like the way the art looked so differently. But for such like a boring, like mid-tier book to have like, it just doesned feel nice. Yeah, personally I didn't really like it. Like there's parts of it, aspects I liked. Like I said, I liked the like shift of seeing like Maria's point of view. I didn't like the fact that it was like, you know, Frank had been the Punisher since the beginning, since he was a child. I didn't really like that.
Yeah. What about the dinosaur?
The dragon.
Yeah, dragon. Whatever.
I
Dragons are dinosaurs.
yeah, the whole part of him being like the, you know, god of the fist or the god of the hand. There's two fist, hand, they're the same fucking thing. They're just different.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have a hand to make a fist.
It's true.
Anyway, yeah, that felt really like ludicrous. Even the end of this just yeah. Yeah. Once again, it was a book I read. It was a Punisher book. I wish a good Punisher story for me.
One day. One day we'll get it.
We'll see. Okay, let me
Flip it up.
flip it up while we talk about this last.
You look like you're about to go sailing.
Maybe I am.
All right, let's go. Let's sail through these books. This is Barbaric, Held to Pay. This is issue number 4. This is the last one of this story.
I'll flip it down. I can't look at myself without laughing.
They figured out a way to bust Owen out of hell. And so they do it.
Yeah, and they end up getting Deadheart out of hell too. The whole ending there was like really sweet and also sad to say goodbye to Steel. Well, say goodbye to his human soul.
Yeah, which I absolutely loved. I was not expecting that. I was like, why is he still here? I thought he was but I love when he is unhinged like that. So
it'll be fun. It'll be an interesting dynamic to throw in there. Just like a lot of characters who are just like out of it. Just like being extreme. I know that they're doing that like Deadheart one shot.
Yeah, the Queen of Swords, which is going to be coming out soon. And then I would assume that there's going to be another mini series because this is a story that you can just keep going like that forever and it would still be like fun and stuff. So
yes, fingers crossed for sure. I really liked this issue a lot. I think it was probably my favorite issue out of the whole like series of issues, like the bouncing back and forth between like hell and I guess earth. Like that was really a really seamless transition.
And all of the like story conclusions worked out really well. So yeah, I like it. And the introduction of like the 2 new characters from this story arc integrated very well as well. Anyway, that's Barbaric.
All right, so then next we have Harrower. This is issue number 4. This is also the last issue of this story. And I really, really loved this like whole thing. It was great. The vibes were perfect, as the kids say.
On God.
On God. And it just had like a perfect horror movie feel. Like I couldn't have asked for like a better like beginning and end to the story.
Yeah, it was really like straightforward, like to the point, and I love that there wasn't any like messing around. You get like the whole origin of the Harrower and how the next one is like introduced, I guess, and created. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I like this a lot, and the art was really fun for it too.
Yeah, those and like the colors for every issue were just like so fucking good. Like that is probably my favorite part about this book was like the colors, to be honest. Like the story too, but the colors were amazing.
Yeah, it worked really, really well.
Well, I do want more. Like I said to you earlier, I don't need any more, but I would like it.
We might as well get more. I'll write to them. We'll pen a letter. Okay. This is Detective Comics. This is 1077? 72. Just kidding.
That'd have been wild.
Yeah, my numbers are all off lately. But
Okay.
yeah, this is the, let's see, Gotham Nocturne Act 2 of The Fall. So yeah, you just get the Oregon, or is that how you say it? The
Orgam?
The Orgam family, doing their business all about Gotham, and Batman and the Bat Kids trying to
Be like, what's going on?
trying to take control of them, I guess, to take it back to
They're trying to stop it, but they also just like don't really know what's happening.
Yeah, because the Orgam family is too organized, which you learn from the backstory, the second story that Dan Waters does, which is like an origin story of the Orgam family.
Yeah, it's like the transition between the first half of the story and the back half, like the secondary story, is so like weirdly seamless.
Yeah, I thought so too, because I thought I was like reading the same story. I had to like go back and be like, oh wait, that one is done in this issue, and then this is like the new story. So
yeah, I think because the last issue they did that like jumping back and or one of the issues just recently did that jumping back and forth throughout time. So like it also just felt like just part of the whole story.
It's good. It's it's a detective story. It's fun. We're getting somewhere with it.
We'll figure out what's happening soon.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Next we have Kaya. This is issue number 8. Book is just like flying along.
Yeah, they're so easy to read is the thing, and like they're so like fast paced that it doesn't feel like we're 8 issues in already.
Yeah. Yeah, so Kaya's just trying to save Jin from his captors, so they're just like not at their heels, they're pretty far behind.
They just keep running into problems.
Yeah. This issue was so good though.
It is, it's really good.
The art is amazing. I just love this story so much.
I think I had mentioned it like in the first issue that we're introduced to the poison lands, but like the colors for like the creatures and stuff in the poison lands are so cool.
I really like I really like Jin a lot. Like I like that character, and like kind of the turmoil he's going through right now is rough. So it's like, but it's really good, interesting like character building points. So
yeah, I think like all of the characters, even the stupid mean guy, like I just really like how the characters are written, because the way that they all work together is so interesting because they're all different. Like even the new brother-in-law from the fish family or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he even works really well in the group, but he's like completely different from them.
Yeah.
It's just a really fun dynamic.
I agree. I like it a lot. Definitely worth the read. Okay, you ready? All right, so then last we have What's the Furthest Place from Here. This is issue number 13. Not a lot to say because don't want to spoil it, and also lots has been happening in this story, but the story is kind of just about being imprisoned and trying to escape and not get broken down.
It's very emotional.
Yeah. No, this issue is like super heavy. It's yeah, that page turn to the last page and just being like, what? And then also like kind of coming to like all of those realizations of stuff that had happened and just being like, just like a gut punch. It just like made me feel like, just like that.
Which I think with this type of story, the group that we're introduced to originally was such a strong group to be introduced to, because I don't know, all of the characters that we know, like if we were to be introduced to one of the other houses, we would probably feel the same way about those characters, but because we were introduced to these guys, these are the ones we care about.
Yeah.
So whenever we like see anyone else, it's just like, okay, like that's sad, that sucks, but like where's our people? And then when we see what all is happening to our people, it's fucked up.
Yeah. No, it's like it's a lot. But really good. I love this book. It's like I think I say it every time. It's just like gotten, I think, better,
Mm-hmm.
especially after that like first like 6 issues or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. This most recent story arc has been very good so far. I enjoy it.
All right. Is that all we got? That's all
That's
we
it.
got?
That's it.
Okay. Well, thanks for listening to us, everybody. We don't have any more comic books to talk about. So go, go to your local comic book shops and buy some comic books, support them, throw them your money, do what you can. Go to your local libraries, take advantage of what they have. I did put a link in the last one. I'll, I'll do it in the description of the next one too.
Yeah.
And then, happy Pride Month. Take care of your fellow queer friends, or if you are, not queer, definitely take care of your queer people because shit sucks right now. Could use support. What you got, Heather?
Well, I was going to say, if you're going to support big corporations, go for the ones that don't do Pride Month specifically for Pride Month, unless you are Patagonia. I don't know if you've seen any of their like stuff that they've been doing. Absolutely incredible. They got like a pretty big drag queen named Patty Gonia to do stuff for like their commercials and stuff. They're incredible. You need to watch them, but they actually do care about gay people.
Okay.
So, yeah, just pay attention to what corporations only do stuff during the month of Pride for gay people and what ones do it all year round and support accordingly.
So yeah, take care of one another and take care of yourself. And thanks for listening to us again. And we'll see you on the flippity flip.
Later.
Laters.